We are about to get greasy as anything. We're going to be tackling 10-year-old grease all over the floor, over the walls, down the side of the cooker. When I pulled this out, I could not believe what I was seeing. We're also going to be doing some painting on the wall to bring this back to life because it's looking horrendous, like something from the 60s. So bringing that back and trying to blend it with the rest of the kitchen. We have got dust and spider webs and all sorts going on, which is really tough on those tiles. So we're going to be tackling it today and getting it back to a nice, clean and fresh standard. And yeah, getting grease off the side of a cooker. Have you ever pulled out your cabinets or pulled your cooker out and seen down the side of it? You're in for a challenge. It is a challenge. It's a day challenge. But I want to transform this section of the kitchen, which is this little brown cabinet here with the shelf. And I want to pull that cabinet out and turn the shelf around so we've got more space and it just looks so less cluttered. It's more organised and yeah, really happy with how it's come out. So if you want to see some hard work on cleaning up years old grease and cobwebs and also a spillage from when we had a chip fryer, I overfilled it, and then when I put the chips in, it overflowed and it went all down the side. I think someone mentioned that in a comment as well, that they had it happen to them. Awful. So that's what we're tackling today. So first of all, trying to get everything out, and then this cabinet here is just a drawer full of like all that loose junk you just don't need. You don't need it, but you put it in there thinking, I know that bolt's come from somewhere and I'll use that at some point, but you never do. And the cupboard is just where I keep like chases, collars, leads, harnesses and all that. Here we go, spider graveyard right here at the back of this. Look, it's not bad for 10 years, I have to say, but still disgusting. There was those white ghost spiders in there as well. Ghost ones. Look at the side of the cooker. Look at that. Look at the what lead. Oh my God, look at it. It's just filth. It's filth. And this is the floor. This is the floor. So this is part to do with an overspill, which I didn't realise was so bad under here. But who pulls out their worktops? They just don't do it, do you? You don't sit there one day and think, do you know what, I'm going to pull out my worktop and have a look. But I think the rest of the worktops wouldn't be like this. I think it's just because it's by the cooker and also the fryer overfill. So I did clean that floor when it happened, but obviously not properly because it's collected dust that's congealed to it and everything else that you can imagine. So yeah. So what I've done is I've just sprayed on, have I sprayed on? No, I put on the boiling hot water with a little bit of cold in there, because even with gloves you can still feel it, but definitely wear gloves because then you can have the water hotter. I've also put the oven on. I've put it on max so that I can try and soften all that grease at the side of it before I start cleaning it. And then I'm just using a sponge to get the water on there and hopefully sit on there. And then I'm using the bristle brush to go over and give it a good scrub. But these wipes are insane. They're so good. Now, the only reason I found these is because a workman left them behind and never retrieved them. They were never returned. So I've been using them and they're brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. They will get paint off your floor. If you spill it on the floor, it just comes off easily. It wipes off grease really well. Although this kind of grease is a whole other level, but it was still doing the job. So I'd like to get some more of these. I think they're $12.99 for a pack of them on Amazon. I'm definitely stocking up some more because I couldn't do this without them, because these wipes made all the difference. So I'll go around the plug sockets with the wipes purely because I don't want to put a wet sponge on them and then have like faults with, you know, electrics. But yeah, so easy to use, so good. So I would definitely advise anyone to grab a pack of these. It's not an ad or anything like that. It's just because our workman left them behind and never came back for them. But they are so good. They smell really nice as well. Like really, whoo, but look. Okay, we've still got grease surrounding us. We've still got grease on the floor. But what a difference. So again, boiling hot water with some of the elbow grease wash up liquid in the bowl, and I'm squeezing it onto the floor to try and move some of this congealed disgustingness on the floor. So the problem with down here is you can't use a sponge because the sponge will hit it and it will stick like glue and you can't actually rub it. And the brush was doing a better job. But what I ended up doing is when I got to a certain point with these wipes, I was putting the brush on top of the wipe and then scrubbing like a demon. I also tried to use some of this Barkeeper's powder and I left it sit for a little bit, and then I went back in and gave another scrubbing over. And I mean, it did help. It definitely helped, but I think when you've got grease this thick, you've just got to go in with whatever you can and just try all kinds of things, because it's never ever going to be an easy job. But you can see it's starting to lift, and when I wipe over it now, it's not sticking like glue like it was originally. I think in total it took me to get this off probably a couple of hours to get it off the tiles, the floor and part of the cooker, and it took me the whole school hours to do the entire thing. So yeah, I mean, it was definitely time consuming, and my arms were killing me, my wrists were killing me, my fingers were raw from like constantly scratching up the bits that were proper stuck on there. But yeah, I feel so much better for it. Like, ew, I just see what the other side of the cooker looks like. I'm here all excited thinking, oh, I've got rid of it, I don't have it anymore, but the other side of the cooker is probably just as bad. Actually, it's probably not, because of that chip fryer. I love chip fryer fries, right? Love them. Fire fries. But I do not like the mess. I hate cleaning them. They are disgusting to clean, and it's not worth it. So really, I prefer chips coming from a chip fryer than anything else. But I'd never get one, because the cleaning is just absolutely diabolical. And after that experience of it overflowing and falling all over the place, never again. Never. Has anyone had that? I know I had someone comment the other day saying about a chip fryer overflowing in their kitchen. So they know. If you've ever had it happen to you, it's awful. Also, the side of the fridge, haven't mentioned this. You might know this story, I've probably told you a little while ago. But the side of the fridge, I'm just scraping it all off. Look. Scraping it off with just a normal butter knife and getting it off the edges of the tiles, because it was like congealed in there. Yes, but it came up, and then the old hoover comes out and sucks it all up. But as I was saying about the fridge, I was doing a stir fry once, and I left the lid on the stir fry pan, and when I pulled the lid off, flames went up in the air, like proper up in the air, near enough touching the ceiling. Half the kitchen was covered in black smoke from the ceiling, the walls, everything. I melted the side of the fridge, and yeah, there's no saving that. It's always going to look grainy. I've given it a wash over, I've cleaned it all off, but it's never going to come off. It's melted. Some of the magnets are actually melted to the fridge, and I can't get the magnets off. But the house didn't burn down. That's the main thing. I mean, if it wasn't for Nick, I don't know what I would have done, because we were both choking in the back garden with black smoke everywhere, and yeah, it was horrendous. But anyway, this is the sort of thing that I do, and then I find myself trying to correct it and clean up the house like, I don't know. But look at that, so much better. Just a little bit of paint. That's it's about 6 months old, that paint. No, it's probably less than that, because I got it in May when I painted the kitchen, April or May. So I like to save them. I tell you what is a good tip to do: if you buy a tub of paint to paint your room, also buy the sample pot to go with it, and don't open it, just put it away somewhere, because I find that something will happen to that bit of paint or something on your wall or whatever, and you don't want to buy a whole tub of paint. But if you've got the sample pot, you can just touch it up with that little sample pot, and it saves you having to save big tubs. But yeah, that's a good little trick there. I always try and get a sample pot to go with when I buy a full one. So moving on to here was the worst part. This was the hardest to clean of it all. It was really time consuming. It really hurt my arms, and all I wanted to do was tip it on its side, sit on top of it and scrub like an absolute demon. But you just have to try and do your best with the position you're in. But I wanted to clean the way in first, because I didn't want to sit on all of that sticky stuff. So yeah, this was awful, absolutely awful to clean. And the further down I got, the worse it got. So again, I'm just using the exact same tactic I used on the tiles. I'm just using boiling hot water with elbow grease, washing up liquid, sponging it on, scraping it with the bristle brush. I'm also using those wipes as well in between, and I'm also using those wipes with my thumbnail to try and scrape off like the thick bits. Yeah, I mean, it's coming off, not too bad, but it's flipping like time consuming like you wouldn't believe. I left it at one point when I picked up the kids, came back, and then I'm cracking on with doing a little bit more. But it's worth it in the end, because look at it. Just look at that. Look at it. So much better. And it feels so much airier just having that done. Like, who knew that was down there? I mean, I know now. Christ, I'll never let it get like that again, ever. Like, Jesus. But now I need to clean the bottom of the shelf because the shelf's been sitting on there, so it's obviously congealed into the feet of the shelf. So I'm just giving that a scrub over. That was pretty easy, came off real easy, so no problems whatsoever. Flip that back over. Oh yes. And then it fits perfectly. It's not touching the oven. It's not touching, so you know, no heat's going to melt onto it or anything like that. There is a slight gap there, but means I can access the sandwich maker and the toaster so much easier. Yes. And we haven't got a junk drawer. I hate junk drawers. I absolutely hate them. They're like a wasted space in the house because they are full of junk. You're not going to keep any of it. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to use this tray to organise the cat food. What I do want to do is do like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday thing and have their breakfast, lunch and dinner, because we seem to be flying through pouches. And I think it's a case of someone gets up and feeds them and then they play the I've not been fed, and then somebody else feeds them, and then I'm spending an absolute fortune on cat pouches. Bottom shelf, I'm going to put all of Chase's harnesses and his coats and all that sort of thing. The brown little wooden box that I've got there is full of things like, you know, worm, flea, medicines and combs, claw clipping, poop bags. Oh yeah, poop bags. And yeah, a bit more organised. Look at that already. Look at it already. So much different. Oh, it feels so much airier as well. And I really like having their stuff all organised so I can just grab it if I need it and whatnot, rather than rummaging in a cupboard. And yeah, so it's worked out better because we've got more space and everything in there is easier to use. The only thing with doing something like this is you're gonna make mess in the rest of your room, whichever room it is you're organising. So just don't worry about it, just get on with it. And not only that, everything was collected on the worktops, like cups and plates and everything from everybody having something to eat and then trying to come in to put their stuff away, and I'm like, just leave it on the side and I'll sort it in a minute. So it's become an absolute bomb site in here. That's what it is. Not really the best word to use right now, but just going around clearing it all up. But I've got my little corner sorted, feeling happy about that. So now it's just a case of clearing up all the mess, putting everything back in order, and then getting to see and feel the difference of just a small change to make in the kitchen. So the usual dishwasher. You love it, don't you? Love the flipping dishwasher. What's everybody up to at the moment? What are you all up to? I mean, it's so cold now. Like, it's gone from not quite sure what's going on. I'm boiling hot, freezing cold, boiling hot, freezing cold, to now I'm just flipping freezing. I hate it. I haven't been on here for a while, but I have had emails regarding the like bracelets and things like that. Lisa, I'm really pleased that the bracelets finally turned up. Absolutely ridiculous. How long does it take for them to just go in the post? I mean, I should get a refund. That's what I should get. I should go to the post office and say, look, this was not delivered within time, therefore I'd like a refund, because it's a joke. Also, the toolkits. I've had emails from you saying that you haven't had them yet. I am looking into this and also regretting that I didn't do it recorded, but there we go. That's just typical me yet again. But you will get them. I have sent them, but if need be, then I will arrange for you to have some more sent out to you, so hold tight. And also I will get back to you as soon as possible. I've just been absolutely manic. Going over, giving everything a good clean and a hoover. I'm not stressing too much the fact that I haven't steam mopped this floor yet, because straight after this I'm going straight onto the washing area. Super excited about that. I think that's going to be one of my favourite ones to do, is that corner, because it's long overdue and it is literally the ugliest washing corner known to man. Giving the sink a wash over, because I cannot wash anything up without the sink being cleaned first. Like, it's you just don't do it, do you? You just don't do it. So yeah, like, you wouldn't get out of the bath and step onto a muddy floor. So no. Anyway, this is the final look. Look how much more open it looks. What a difference. What a difference. I see it. And you can definitely feel it when you're in the kitchen as well. You can feel the difference. So even though it's only like, what, a foot? Oh yeah. So happy with it. My cup of tea there, ready and waiting. And everything's been cleaned. So now it's just a case of going onto the laundry section. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all having a great day. And I will see you all again very soon.